Welcome to the Holiday Heroes of Jersey podcast, where you'll hear profiles of the people making a difference through the Greater Newark Holiday Fund. Every year, the Holiday Fund empowers 10 amazing regional charities to deliver real help to real people right here in Jersey. Join us this holiday season as we bring you stories of changed lives and renewed hope made possible by generous donations and the dedicated people helping our neighbors who need it most across the Greater Newark, New Jersey region. Are you ready? Let's get to today's session.
Hi, friends. This is Kenny Jang, the host of the Holiday Heroes of Jersey podcast. We're broadcasting from Jersey, the Greater Newark Holiday Fund's home base in the Garden State. Today's conversation, we're looking at someone who's one of our favorites, holiday heroes. We're calling them holiday heroes around here. People like you and me, individuals across the state of Jersey that care to make a difference where it counts. I'm doing a little bit more and getting involved and trying to do something about all the things around us that can better the lives of our neighbors right across Greater Newark, New Jersey. Marie, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, Kenny.
So Marie Mathews, you are an attorney here with CSG. It's a mouthful when we get it straight. So why don't you set us straight how we are supposed to call you by name for your attorney and law firm.
Sure. So CSG is always fine, but it's Chiesa, Shahinian, and John Tomasi.
Nice. And so let's get right through it there. You're a busy attorney there. What do you guys special in at your law firm, and where are you guys located? Who do you serve? Tell us a little bit about your day of life there at CSG.
So we are a full-service law firm in West Orange, New Jersey, just 5 minutes, 10 minutes down the road from Newark. We do all kinds of services for our clients. I personally am a commercial litigator. I practice in New York and New Jersey, and I do a wide range of matters, commercial litigation for shareholder disputes, restrictive covenant cases, professional malpractice, and internal investigations as well.
Wow. So that's a great resource to have right here outside of New York City, in our, as we say, the bedroom-facing communities of Manhattan, right? So one of the reasons why we brought you on, Marie, in particular, is I love what I've heard you do with the Holiday Fund, because you've been volunteering quietly for this organization called the Greater Newark Holiday Fund. It's a 501c3 nonprofit charity, and every year it raises funds for a whole portfolio of social service agencies. This year in particular, I think there's 10 different social service agencies and nonprofits that serve the Greater Newark region, and you're doing great work with this nonprofit. Tell us a little bit how you first heard about the Holiday Funds and what got you involved. What stimulated you to actually raise your hand and say, hey, I want to help out?
Well, I first heard about the fund growing up. I'm a New Jersey native and lived in the Greater Newark area, and the Greater Newark Holiday Fund always had these advertisements in the Star Ledger growing up, so I knew about the fund. Working here at CSG, my partner, John Tomasi, was an honorary chair for the organization. And I knew he was involved. He told me what a great organization it was, and asked me if I'd like to get involved. And just knowing what I knew at the time about the organization, I was excited about doing that. And John Tomasi introduced me to John Neitzel, who's the president of the organization, who, of course, was very excited and interested to tell me all the great things that the fund does. So I couldn't wait to be involved. Yeah,
so the Star Ledger has been a historic partner of the fund, right? It's just been, I think, it's 80 years that the fund has been in existence.
Yes, 80 years. I believe this is our 80th year.
Yeah, and so one of the little side notes here for everybody is that everyone who donates to the fund actually gets their name published in the Star Ledger. Star Ledger has been very generous as a partner of the Greater Newark Holiday Fund each and every year. And this year, again, I think they're upping the ante and publishing everyone's name that donates individually into the paper to give you some recognition. Now, 10 charities, there's a lot of things going on in terms of meeting the needs of the people in our own backyard here. Do you have a favorite story or charity or something that you can share with us? Because one of the things we started this podcast for, Marie, is really to help put a face to the organization, right? So because people hear about stats and there's all these needs, we're bombarded by charity needs all around us all the time, especially this holiday season. Do you have a story or something that you can share with our listeners to better understand why you're personally involved with this nonprofit organization?
Sure. So one of the first things I did when I got involved was, along with other members of the board, is go visit the entities that we provide funds for. And the first one I visited was Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Newark. And, you kind of hear about what these organizations do. You see it on paper, maybe you watch a little video, but it's really different when you go there and see hands-on what these organizations are doing with the money that we donate. And Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Newark, they provide a lot of services, of course, and I don't want to shortchange them, but the one that I experienced firsthand and that I thought was particularly useful was their workforce development program. And they train people with skills that they can use to go out and earn money for themselves, right? So they're providing skills that they can take elsewhere. And they have a full service kitchen there where they train people to work in a professional kitchen. And we saw people who, are trying to start over, trying to start a new position and gain skills that they can use. And they were working hands-on in this kitchen, just learning how to bake cookies, the economics of running a kitchen, how to turn the inventory. And they were, really learning in a hands-on environment. And that I thought was fantastic and useful. We're not just donating things and money, but we're giving people skills that they can use to sort of earn for themselves.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I've had a conversation recently with someone about Catholic Charities and saying that they should probably change the name because it's not just a charity where they're just doling handouts left and right on the streets, right? And so I love that program that you're talking about. And that skills development, I think, is something, I guess from a business perspective, we talk about ROI, right? Return on investment. And I guess both in the time that you're investing in the organization and the money that you donate to the organization, you want to see some better outcomes than just something that disappears into the air as a handout. And so that workforce program is amazing. So when you actually went to on-site, you were able to meet some of the people and actually interact with the trainers and the trainees as well?
We did. Of course, we met the people that are running the program who, those are the most dedicated people there are who are running these programs. And of course, they showed us around and introduced us to some of the people they were providing services to. And of course, the ones in the kitchen were offering us the cookies that they were making. And we did get to interact one-on-one. That's
really, really cool. So can you share with us we're asking all of our holiday heroes in this series, just what's one personal holiday wish that you have for the program? What would you love to see happen this year? If we were successful in raising the money that we're trying to target in terms of a goal, if we brought in more money, then what's the one personal wish that you have for the program this year?
Well, so I believe, and I know that other people involved with the fund believe, that it's important to put the needs of the vulnerable and the poor first, especially during the holiday season. I mean, we would hope it would happen all year long, but particularly during the holiday season. And we want to make sure that these organizations are helping people who are less fortunate gain skills and most importantly, live with dignity. And my hope, I think, for this year is that all of us individually could help to close that gap that we have today, particularly in today's society, between the rich and the very poor. So to do that, those of us who are fortunate and have the time or have the funds to be able to help, that we do that, whether it's with money or with time or with other support. But my hope for this holiday season is that those who are able help and give.
Yeah, I love the fact that you've been volunteering for this organization. How many years have you been with the Greater Newark Holiday Fund so far?
So this is only my second year, so I'm one of the new ones, but it's been a fantastic 2 years so far.
Yeah, it's what I love seeing is that on the board there's this constant fresh blood coming in. We've got some people that have been involved for decades and some that are coming in. And I think that's what's part of the magic of the organization, is because you're constantly getting fresh perspectives as to how the organization can grow and really continue to meet the needs of the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So after hearing your story, there's definitely some people some listeners out here right now considering donating to the Greater Newark Holiday Fund, what would you say to that person who's listening, who's interested, who's curious, who's on the fence? How could you encourage them to donate specifically to Greater Newark Holiday Fund?
So there are lots of worthwhile organizations out there, of course. There's many people doing great work. But I think the thing that I would like people to consider is that the Greater Newark Holiday Fund is doing the work here in our backyard. For people that live in New Jersey and live in the Greater Newark area, you can really put your money to use in your own community, and you can see the results here locally. So I would encourage you to think about what you can do to help right in your own backyard.
Yeah, that's one of the things, the moniker that we have for this campaign is let's make a difference where it counts, right here locally. Again, there's so many great needs out there in terms of charities and nonprofits this holiday season. Can you share just one other thing maybe that other people don't know about the Greater Newark Holiday Fund, or something that you've learned about the people working for it, all the other volunteers? What's one thing that has brightened your day or really made an impact on you getting involved in this nonprofit as a volunteer?
So we have 10 organizations, and what I've learned just in the past year and a half or 2 years that I've been involved is that those 10 organizations are very connected to the people that work with the fund. We have ongoing relationships. As you mentioned, this is our 80th year. Some of these organizations we've been working with for decades, and we really know the people who are running these organizations and how hard they're trying and how much effort they're putting into their missions. And I think that relationship is very important. It's a personal relationship between us and the agencies. You're not giving money to sort of a faceless monolith. We can see the people that we're working with, and we keep up a strong relationship with them by seeing them throughout the year, by inviting them to different events, and really keeping that connection.
Well, thank you so much for sacrificing your time and talents to help those in need right here in Jersey, where we live. You're one of our hometown holiday heroes. It's people like you that really do make a difference where it counts. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Kenny.
So if someone wants to reach out to you and learn a little bit more about volunteering or some of the things that you guys are doing, what's the best way for someone to connect or learn more about you and your company?
Well, first, you can always go to our website, which is csglaw.com. If you'd like to reach out to me directly, you can always email me at mmatthews@csglaw.com.
Nice. Thank you so much again for coming on the show. And thank you so much for our listeners today, taking the time out to hear just a little bit of our conversation with today's holiday hero. I want to invite you to get more involved with the Greater Newark Holiday Fund. You can do that by first going to the website at www.2017.holidayfund.org. When you donate, you're making a difference where it counts. And please help us get the word out by dropping a comment here, or consider taking the extra step and giving us a review for this podcast on iTunes. That is a very practical way for you to help us get the word out to reach more people so that we can share this opportunity with others just like you and me to join in with the Greater Newark Holiday Fund this season. Till next time, be good and be generous this holiday season.
If you enjoyed today's session, please help us share the work of the Greater Newark Holiday Fund with friends and family who can make a difference in northern New Jersey. You can do that by leaving a review on iTunes or by sharing our website 2017.holidayfund.org with your network. We believe that those who practice generosity during this critical time of year are our very own hometown holiday heroes. Let your generosity make a difference where it counts. The Greater Newark Holiday Fund is a giving partner you can believe in, trusted by more than 20 corporate and foundation grants, and thousands of individual donors just like you. And don't forget to join us every week, right here, for the next installment of the Hometown Heroes of Jersey podcast.